Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Finance with Abram. Today, I'm diving into the world of certificate of deposits, known as CDs, to bring you the top 5 CD accounts ranked by their annual percentage yield, APY. If you're looking to grow your savings with minimal risk, you'll want to stick around for this. And there's more than 5 accounts in this video. There's a couple of ties, and there's some honorable mentions I have. Also, there are a couple of accounts that dropped out of the top 5. I'm going to tell you about those. And there's been some movements in this list since I last did this video 2 months ago, because every other month I do this video on the top 5 CD accounts ranked by APY. I also do videos on the top 5 no penalty CD accounts and the top savings accounts ranked by APY. So check out the playlist links down below in the description. There have been some movements in this list. I'm going to tell you about that. And also I'm going to give you a calculation example of a certain amount of money in all of these accounts so you can see how much interest you would earn depending on the APY and the term of the CD, as well as telling you about the financial institution and banks itself, because some of these banks are more unknown than others. And with the accounts on this video, all of them are from banks or financial institutions that are owned by banks. There are some credit unions out there that do have high APYs, but I excluded them from the list. There's actually 1 or 2 that would have made the list that I've seen. However, they have certain exclusions where you have to be a member of a certain group or work for a certain company, live in a certain state, and things like that. So there are more restrictions with credit unions than banks and big financial institutions that are owned by banks. So that's what I'm sticking to on this list, just to make it more broad and have more availability to people watching the video. Before we get into the account, I want to tell you about some of a couple of surveys in the average CD account APY. As you see right here, I talked about this in my last video 2 months ago, and now this survey has been updated. And back in April or so, Investopedia had this survey with their readers, and CDs were chosen higher on the list. Now, back in June, they asked their readers what would they invest in if they had an extra $10,000. And 9% of the Investopedia readers said they would open a CD, which fell behind individual stocks, ETFs, and index funds. Now, a couple of months before this survey, Investopedia did the same survey, and CDs ranked higher. So people, I guess, saw, individual stocks making more money, because in the past, well, right now, currently, there's some rough things going on with the stock market. I won't talk about that, but I will sneak in here and say that I like when the stock market comes down, because it creates awesome buying opportunities for quality stocks and companies. So I'm definitely watching the market closer than normal. I watch the market pretty much every day, but I'm not gonna talk about that too much in this video because this is about CD accounts. But yeah, people probably saw, back in, May or earlier this year, thought, hey, I can make more money from individual stocks and ETFs and stock index funds than CDs. So they went towards that route more. Now that may change up a little bit. We'll see, because when people see a lot of red in the market and stocks going down, they don't typically want to buy. However, like I said, that's when I like to buy, but we won't get into all that. And so yeah, this survey is neat to see where would people put that extra $10,000 if they had it. You see it up there on the screen. And also in this video with this top 5, all of these APYs are going to be over 5%. Which is better than the average APY. This article is from August 2024, and you see the average interest rate for CDs right here, and it's around 1 point something percent. 1 month, 0.23%, that's very low. 3 months, 1.53%. 6 months, 1.81%. 1 year, 1.85%, and so on. So as you see, the average interest rate for CDs is definitely going to be lower than the CDs I'm talking about in my video. The interest rate and APYs for the CDs in my video right here are going to be all around 5% and higher. And then before we jump into the top 5 list, I want to tell you about some of the things that all of these accounts have in common, and so I'm not repeating it for every account. And some of these are very important. I wouldn't even talk about these accounts on my video if they didn't have these, like FDIC insurance. But let's get into what all these accounts have in common, and then we're going to get into the honorable mentions, accounts that dropped out of the top 5, and the top 5 list. So all of the accounts in this video are FDIC insured. So they have the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation backing with them. And that is an independent agency that was created by Congress during the Great Depression to maintain stability and public confidence in the nation's financial system. And typically they're going to protect your account up to $250,000. So if something went wrong with the bank or financial institution that you have your money in, the CD account, savings account, or whatever that are FDIC insured, then the FDIC would step in and pretty much make you whole. So you would not lose your money. Even if that bank collapsed or went under, bankrupt, anything like that, you will be made whole. Your funds will be returned to you by the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. And actually, no customer has ever lost funds in an FDIC insured bank, even if that bank has gone under or gone bankrupt. No customer with an FDIC insured bank has ever lost funds since the FDIC was created. So it's very important for your money to be FDIC insured. I personally would not open an account with any bank or financial institution that was not FDIC insured. So yeah, next up here, all of the APYs are fixed rate APYs, which means the rate that you get when you sign up for these CD accounts will remain the same for the length of the CD. So if it's a 9-month CD, 6-month CD, no matter how long it is, the APY you get when you sign up is going to remain the same throughout. So even if that bank lowers the APY for that specific term CD next month or 2 months from now, that won't pertain to you. You will keep the same APY that you got when you sign up. So you're pretty much locking in that rate, locking in that APY. So that works both ways though. However, if the rate goes up next month or 2 months from now, then you would still get that same rate that you had before, that lower rate, basically. So it kind of goes both ways. It can work for you, it kind of against you having a fixed rate. A fixed rate is typically good because you know how much you're going to get paid with your interest. You know, no matter what's going on with the market, the economy, the federal funds rate, anything like that, you lock in that certain rate and you know, okay, for the next 6 months, for the next year, for the next 14 months, however long, this is the APY I'm getting on that amount of money that I put in the CD. So yes, all of the accounts in this video have fixed rate APYs, which is pretty much a standard thing with CD, certificate of deposit accounts. That's one of the things that makes them different from savings accounts, because savings accounts typically have variable rate APYs. No matter how long you have your money, you just have your money sitting in a savings account, and that APY could change like 3-4 times in the year, basically. So that's one of the main differences between savings accounts and CD accounts, is that rate being fixed with CD accounts and the rates being variable with savings accounts. Next up here, common feature that all of these accounts have is that none of them have a monthly maintenance fee. So you don't have to worry about any kind of $2, $3 fee or anything being thrown at you just for having the account open. Next on the list, there is an early withdrawal penalty that ranges between these accounts. So you put your money in these accounts for this certain term limit, 6 months, 9 months, however long. So you're pretty much locked into that period. You can take your money out, the principal amount you put in and the interest. However, you will get hit with a penalty, and that ranges. Sometimes like 180 days worth of interest or 60 days worth of interest. Different banks and financial institutions have different penalty amounts. Now, often you can take the interest that you earn out every month. So once the interest is paid out, you could typically, on a lot of accounts, transfer that to a different account or something like that, take that out, and that's fine. You won't get a penalty for that. However, if you try to take that principal amount, however amount your CD is, 10,000, 7,000, 20,000, 50,000, whatever it is you put in the CD, if you try to take that out before the term limit ends, that 6 months, 9 months, whatever the term limit is, then you will get hit with the penalty. Now, there are no penalty CDs where you can withdraw all of your money out anytime and not get hit with a penalty. Typically, there's like a lockup period for like 7 days or something like that, or 10 days, different kind of ranges. But after that, you could take your money out within that 6 months, 9 months, or however, and not get hit with a penalty. Those are no penalty CD accounts. And I do make top 5 lists for no penalty CD accounts. I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested in that, if you want to check that out. So yeah, those accounts do exist, and there are some nice high APYs with some of those accounts as well. But yeah, on this list, these top 5 CD accounts do have a penalty associated with them if you take the money out early. So typically, a CD account is good for somebody who has a lump sum of money, wants to earn a nice high yield on it, wants that money to be safe and not lose value of the principal, and wants to be able to get to that money at a certain time and earn interest on it, basically. But yeah, all of these accounts do have an early withdrawal penalty associated with them that ranges if you were to do that with the money that you put in the account. Also, there are various initial deposit requirements for the CD accounts in this video. Some of them don't have an initial deposit requirement, and some of them do, whether it be $500, $1,000, and so on and so on. When we get to the list, I'll tell you exactly what the initial deposit requirement is for each of these accounts, whether or not they have one or whether they do, and how much that amount is. So yeah, there are various initial deposit requirements with the CD accounts on this list. And also, all the banks and financial institutions on this list have a mobile app available on the Apple and Google Play app stores where you can, check out your account and do different things with your account on your phone with the mobile app that's on the app store from that financial institution. So it makes it very convenient to be able to check out your account. All right, that is it for that section. Let's get into the rest of the video. Starting here with the first honorable mention is the Bread Financial 12-month certificate of deposit at 5.15% APY, and the APY for this CD was recently lowered from 5.25% down to that 5.15%. And with this CD account, there's a $1,500 minimum initial deposit requirement to open, and the interest is compounded daily and credited monthly. Calculation example for this one: if you had $50,000 in this CD for 12 months at 5.15% APY with the interest compounding daily, After 12 months, that $50,000 would be around $52,573.88. So total interest earned would be around $2,573.88. Bread Financial is a financial services company offering credit cards, loans, savings, and CD accounts. Bread Financials was formerly known as Alliance Data, which was formed by a combination of JCPenney's credit card processing unit and the Limited's credit card bank business. Alliance Data changed its name to Bread Financial Holdings in March 2022. Bread Savings is a product of the Community Capital Bank, which was founded in 1996 with a headquarters in Columbus, Ohio. And the next honorable mention we have here is the Marcus by Goldman Sachs 12-month certificate of deposit at 5.15% APY. And Marcus by Goldman Sachs is very well known, and it's a nice APY. 12 months. I definitely wanted to talk about this one and feature it on this video. And with this CD, there's a $500 minimum initial deposit required to open, and the interest is compounded daily and credited monthly. Calculation example for this one, same as the previous account. If you had $50,000 in this CD for 12 months at 5.15% APY, after 12 months, that $50,000 would be around $52,573.88. Marcus by Goldman Sachs is an online bank that offers a savings account and multiple term CD account. Marcus by Goldman Sachs is a brand of Goldman Sachs Bank that was launched in 2016. Goldman Sachs itself was founded in 1869 in New York, where their headquarters still remains. And the next honorable mention in this video is the Popular Direct 3 or 6 month certificate of deposit at 5.25% APY. Now this APY was recently lowered from 5.30% down to 5.25%. And with either of these CDs, there's a $10,000 minimum deposit required to open, and the interest is compounded daily and credited monthly. Calculation example for this one, if you had $50,000 in this 3-month CD at 5.25% with the interest compounding daily, after 3 months, that $50,000 would be around $50,645.33. Now, if you had a 6-month CD with Popular Direct at 5.25% APY with the interest compounding daily, $50,000 in it after 6 months would be around $51,299. Popular Direct was launched in 2016 as an online-only bank that's a subsidiary of Popular Bank. Popular Incorporated was founded in 1893 and does business as Banco Popular in Puerto Rico and Virgin Islands, and Popular Bank in the United States. Popular Direct offers an online savings account and various term CD accounts. Popular headquarters is in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And now we're going to get into a couple of accounts that are out of the top 5 list. So their APYs have been recently lowered, and there's some other APYs on the list that are higher than theirs now. Now first up here, out of the top 5 list is the Merrick Bank 3 or 6 month certificate of deposit. The 3-month CD is at 5.10% and their 6-month CD is at 5%. Previously, when they were in the top 5 list a couple of months ago, both of these CD accounts were at 5.40%, but they both were recently lowered, and now they're out of my top 5 list because they're no longer at 5.40%, but they're at 5.10 and 5% respectively. Now, with either of these accounts, there is a $25,000 minimum deposit required to open it, and the interest is compounded daily and credited monthly. Calculation example for these CDs, if you have $50,000 in their 3-month CD at 5.10% with the interest compounding daily, after 3 months that $50,000 would be around $50,625.08. If you had the 6-month CD with Merrick Bank at 5% APY with the interest compounding daily and $50,000 in it, after 6 months that $50,000 would be around $51,234.92. Merrick Bank was founded in 1997 and is a subsidiary of CardWorks, which was founded in 1987 and headquartered in Woodbury, New York. Merrick Bank specializes in credit card programs that assist people looking to build or rebuild their credit, and they offer credit cards, loans, and also various term CD accounts. And the next account that is out of the top 5 list is the CFG Bank 12-month certificate of deposit at 5.15% APY. Previously, when it was in the top 5 list, this CD was at 5.31% APY, but they recently lowered the APY from 5.31% down to 5.15%. And with this CD, there's a $500 minimum deposit required to open, and the interest is compounded and credited monthly. Calculation example for this one, if you had $50,000 in this CD for 12 months at 5.15% APY with the interest compounding monthly, after 12 months, that $50,000 would be around $52,568.56. CFG Bank is a privately owned community bank founded in 1927 with a headquarters in Baltimore, Maryland. They offer various personal and commercial banking products and services. Also out of the top 5 list is the CIBC 12-month or 13-month certificate of deposit at 5.21% APY. Now, previously, when these accounts were in the top 5 list, CIBC had the APY at 5.36%, but that APY was recently lowered down to 5.21%, and now the accounts with CIBC are out of the top 5 list. Now, with these CD accounts, there is a $1,000 minimum initial deposit required to open them, and a maximum account balance of $5 million. And with these CD accounts, the interest is compounded and credited monthly. Now, with these CDs having the same APY of 5.21%, I'm just going to take the 13-month CD for the calculation example. With the 13-month CD, if you have $50,000 in it for 13 months with the interest compounding monthly at 5.21% APY, after 13 months, that $50,000 will be around $52,828.35. CIBC stands for Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, which is a Canadian multinational banking and financial services corporation headquartered at CIBC Square in the financial district of Toronto, Ontario. CIBC was formed in 1961 through a merger between the Canadian Bank of Commerce, which was founded in 1867, and Imperial Bank of Canada, which was founded in 1873. CIBC US United States provides commercial, wealth management, personal, and small business financial solutions and cross-border banking services to clients with North American operations, and their US headquarters is in Chicago, Illinois. And now we're in the top 5 list, starting with the first account that is back in the top 5 actually. At number 5 is the First Internet Bank 12-month certificate of deposit at 5.26% APY. There is a $1,000 minimum deposit required to open this account, and the interest is compounded and credited monthly. Calculation example for this one: if you had $50,000 in this account at 5.26% APY for 12 months with the interest compounding monthly, after 12 months, that $50,000 will be around $52,626.18. First Internet Bank was founded in 1997 by entrepreneur David B. Becker, incorporated in October 1998, and opened to the public in February 1999. It is primarily involved in online retail banking and investment in securities. First Internet Bank Corp is the parent company of First Internet Bank, and per their website, they were the first state charter FDIC-insured institution to operate entirely online. Their headquarters is in Indianapolis, Indiana. And at number 4 is the Basque Bank 6-month or 9-month certificate of deposit at 5.30% APY. And for either of these CDs, there's a $1,000 minimum deposit required to open it, and the interest is compounded daily and credited monthly. Calculation example for these CD accounts: if you had $50,000 in the 6-month CD account with Basque Bank at 5.30% APY with the interest compounding daily, after 6 months, that $50,000 will be around $51,306.69. Now, if you had the 9-month CD account with Basque Bank with $50,000 in it at 5.30% with the interest compounding daily, after 9 months, that $50,000 would be around $51,972.79. Basque Bank is an online bank that offers one savings account that earns interest and another that earns American Airlines miles, and they also offer various term CD accounts. Basque Bank is a division of Texas Capital Bank, which was founded in 1998, and their headquarters is in Dallas, Texas. And at number 3, we have a tie. First up here, we have the Newtek Bank 6-month CD at 5.35% APY. There's a $2,500 minimum initial deposit requirement to open it, and a maximum account balance of $250,000. And with this CD account, the interest is compounded daily and credited monthly. Calculation example for it: if you had $50,000 in this CD for 6 months at 5.35% APY with the interest compounding daily, after 6 months, that $50,000 would be around $51,322.08. Newtek Bank is backed by Newtek One, which is a publicly traded company. Newtek One offers payment, lending, insurance, and technology products. Newtek Bank was founded in 1963, and they offer personal savings and CD accounts and business savings and checking accounts. Newtek Bank headquarters is in Miami, Florida. Also tied at number 3 is the Next Bank 12-month CD at 5.35% APY. And with this CD account at Next Bank, the APY was actually recently lowered from 5.40% down to 5.35%. But with that 5.35% APY, it's still high enough to be in my top CDs ranked by APY list. And with this CD account, there's a $10,000 minimum deposit required to open it, and the interest is compounded daily and credited quarterly. Calculation example for this CD, if you had $50,000 in this CD account for 12 months at the APY of 5.35% with the interest compounding daily, after 12 months that $50,000 would be around $52,679.12. Next Bank is a privately held state chartered bank that was founded in 1922 as Terrell Federal Savings and Loan Association. In 2022, Next Bank became the largest privately held bank in Texas with almost $14 billion in assets. Next Bank offers personal deposit accounts and loans and institutional and commercial banking products. Their headquarters is in Dallas, Texas. And at number 2, we have another tie. First up here, we have the Presidential Bank 7-month CD at 5.50% APY. There's a $1,000 minimum initial deposit required to open this CD, and the interest is compounded and credited at maturity. So this one's going to be different with how the interest compounds compared to the previous CD accounts on this list. Typically, CD accounts have their interest compounded daily or monthly, with the difference between those not being that noticeable. Daily is going to be better than monthly because the interest is compounding more. However, it's not that noticeable if you don't have that much money in the account and if it's not going on for a long amount of time. It's more noticeable if you have a large sum of money in the account and it's compounding at a longer amount of time, like years or several months, and you'll notice it's slightly different right there. Definitely noticeable, but not a big difference. Now with the interest compounding at maturity, that's going to be less interest compounded than daily or monthly. So you're going to have less interest earned than you would if the interest was compounded daily or monthly. With this interest amount for the calculation example, it's going to be around this amount. And for that calculation example, if you have $50,000 in this CD at 7 months with the APY at 5.50%, with the interest on this calculator, I wanted to use the same calculator as the other accounts. So I have the interest compounding yearly instead of daily or monthly. 7 months, is not a year, obviously, so the amount is going to be a little different. So with this calculation, though, after 7 months, that $50,000 would be around $51,543.45. So interest earned is going to be around that $1,500 or so dollars, just for an example. Presidential Bank was organized in 1985 with the headquarters in Bethesda, Maryland. In 1995, Presidential Bank became the first bank in the United States to offer its bank accounts over the internet. And now that kind of stood out to me. This is the first time this bank has appeared in one of my videos. So I did some research on it. It's FDIC insured, meets that criteria, all of that. But with that statement right there, I was kind of like, really? It's the first bank in the United States to offer its bank accounts over the internet? And I did some research, looked online, found some articles. Yes, Presidential Bank is the first bank in the United States to offer its bank accounts over the internet. So as you see on the screen, I have a couple of things right there showing you like, yeah, that is the case. That is true. So I'm not saying they were lying on their website. It was just kind of like, I did not know that fact. So it's very neat. But yeah, about Presidential Bank. Beginning in 1997, Presidential was one of the earliest banks to offer online account statements and real-time PC banking services. Presidential Bank offers various personal and business banking and lending services. Also tied at number 2 is the Quantic 3-month CD account at 5.50% APY. There's a $500 minimum deposit required to open this account, and the interest is compounded daily and credited monthly. Calculation example for this one, if you had $50,000 in this account for 3 months at 5.50% APY with the interest compounding daily, after 3 months, that $50,000 will be around $50,673.19. Quantic Bank is a digital bank headquartered in New York City, New York. Quantic offers personal checking, savings, and certificate of deposit accounts, as well as a variety of mortgage loan products. In late 2009, real estate developer and entrepreneur Stephen Schnall bought Golden First Bank, which was a small troubled bank in Great Neck, New York, with $24 million in assets. The terms of the sale allowed him to buy the bank with a clean balance sheet. Schnall assembled a new team, injected fresh capital, and renamed it Quantic Bank. And at number 1 is the Total Bank 3-month or 6-month certificate of deposit at 5.51% APY. There's a $25,000 minimum deposit required to open either of those accounts, and there's a $1 million deposit maximum. And with their CD accounts, the interest is compounded daily and credited monthly. And something that stood out with this CD account is the exclusions of it depending on where you live. So opening the CD account with Total Bank, they state, is easy with completing the online application, but they have a note on here that states Total Bank can conduct business anywhere in the United States, with the exception of Florida, Puerto Rico, American Samoa, Guam, Northern Mariana Islands, and U.S. Virgin Islands. So something to notate there that they do have some exclusions of depending on where you live if you can open up an account with them. Calculation examples for these CDs, if you had $50,000 in a 3-month CD with Total Bank at 5.51% APY with the interest compounding daily, After 3 months, that $50,000 would be around $50,674.46. If you had a 6-month CD with Total Bank with $50,000 in it at 5.51% APY with the interest compounding daily, after 6 months, that $50,000 will be around $51,358.02. Total Bank is a division of City National Bank of Florida, which was founded in 1946. The parent company of National Bank of Florida is Banco de Crédito y Inversiones, BCI, one of Latin America's largest banks and the second largest bank in Chile. Total Bank offers a money market account and various term CD accounts. There you have it, the top 5 CD accounts ranked by APY for August 2024. Each of these options offer a unique blend of term length and interest rate, so you can choose one that best fits your financial goals and time frame. Be sure to read the fine print and understand the terms before opening any CD account or any bank account in general. If you found this video informative or helpful, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel if you're not already for more financial tips and education. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.